Let's talk about the divisional round. If you go to, let's go NFC, since we're coming off the game last night. You've got Philly -6, totals 43.5. The total quickly dropped a couple of points last night. So Philly -6, and then the Detroit number is now 9. Remember, that was 10.5 for a few minutes, goes to 8.5 much of yesterday. BetMGM posting 9, high total 55.5. We did not see a Commanders-Lions matchup in the regular season, Sam, but we did see the Eagles and Rams go at it, and that was when Saquon won the Offensive Player of the Year award. 302 total yards. You think those props are going to be popular in the Eagles-Rams game?
It's very funny that people sort of ignore the meeting in the regular season when the Eagles won 37-20, but watch the Rams beat the Vikings and go, oh, yeah, oh, Ramily. These two teams already played. Not that what happened back then is going to affect what happens this weekend, but they played on November 24th. Mm-hmm. And the game was in, believe it or not, Los Angeles. So Philly went into the Rams' house just beat the snot out of them. 37-20. Stafford was good. He wasn't great. And if I remember correctly, the Rams couldn't run the ball. Yeah, the Rams had 92 yards on the ground. The Eagles had 314. Is that good? Is 314 rushing yards good?
Tell me how the Rams did on third down.
0 for 8.
Oh, yeah. 0 for 8 on third down. Maybe fluky because they did just fine on fourth, right? I want to say 3 for 3. I think they were good there. But
3 for 3 on fourth down, yes.
Almost 500 yards put up by this Eagles offense. Almost 500 yards. So, yeah, that's how you get to that number of 6, a 17-point victory on the road. And you've got the Eagles favorite here, and it's going to be a short rest week for the Rams. So, I don't know. Did you see much reaction? Do you think the +6 is going to be popular after last night?
Oh, yeah. Market's already down to 5.5 at multiple shops. I hope they keep betting it, though, and here's what I'll do. I will lay a very nice price on the Eagles money line. I don't know how yet, probably not straight. I might do a couple open parlays where I'll just put Eagles money line in one, Eagles money line in another, Eagles money line in the third, and then you just fill those as you go, assuming they win. I don't love laying 2.7 to win one, but Chris has -300 right now. Circa's got -274. BetMGM -275. A couple places are a little bit cheaper, -260, -265. I think the Eagles win the game. The question is, how do you bet it? A lot of people will tease the Eagles down. There won't be a lot of people that want to log into their account and bet that straight. I still might, because I think the risk is worth the reward. I don't think the Eagles are losing. But people don't want to lay 275 to win 100. That's a team that I would be surprised if they lost, the Eagles, because of their defense and their run game.
On the AFC side, we mentioned the Ravens are now favored to beat the Bills. There's a lot going on. Yes, the Ravens were impressive wild card weekend, but you could say the exact same thing about the Bills. I think a lot of people are looking back and now they're remembering what happened in the regular season. Keep in mind, that was week 4. That was September 29th. So I wouldn't go too far in assuming, oh, look at this matchup. This is going to be a repeat. Like Saquon running wild on the Rams in that game, Derrick Henry ran wild on that Bills defense, going for 199 yards, 2 total touchdowns. Lamar had 3 total touchdowns in that game. The Ravens outgained the Bills by nearly 200 yards. I would be surprised if that were to happen again.
That was Sunday night. I remember that game. And I remember going into that game, we had bet on Baltimore. Buffalo was down 2 or 3 linebackers in that game. Remember?
Milano didn't play.
Battered. Yeah. They were battered on defense. So, yeah, I mean, you can't ignore that meeting. You certainly can't. And we just brought up the first meeting between the Eagles and the Rams, so we can't dismiss what Derrick Henry did in that first meeting. What I will say, though, is the elephant in the room is Buffalo going up first and Buffalo taking a 7-0 lead. What has that done? It has historically put the Ravens in the blender and made them think they are now a passing team. Dot,
Mm-hmm.
dot, dot. We shall see. Let's understand that these two teams, according to Vegas, are extremely close. They opened Buffalo as a 1-point favorite. Home field is worth about 1 to 1.5 these days, according to most people. Now, maybe it's a little bit more in Buffalo because of the elements and the potential for wind and weather. But Vegas is telling you that these two teams are very, very close. Yet the early push has come completely one way on Baltimore. I don't know how much higher you get, though. I mean, we see some books at 1.5 right now, which does allow you to tease through 3 and 7. I know that people don't like to make bets on Tuesday, but if you know that you're going to be on the Bills and you have this number in front of you right now at 1.5, you can tease that through 3 and through 7 and lock in that 7.5 with whatever you want, whether it's the Eagles down or the Chiefs down. The Chiefs are 7.5 at a couple spots. So there are multiple sports books that will allow you right now to tease Buffalo up to plus 7.5 and Kansas City down to minus 1.5. If
Mm-hmm.
you know you're going to do that anyway, if you know you're going to do that on Friday or Saturday, why would you not just do it right now? That is a very, very solid teaser leg. Hey, guess what? You get Mahomes to win the game, and you get Josh Allen north of 7. That's a very good teaser leg, and the numbers current allow you to do that. They allow you to do that right now. I don't know that that will be the case on Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. And I think another point here on teasers is sharpest betting market. We're in the playoffs. These lines are so tight. I know you had some blowouts this weekend, but now it's different. Now it's the division round. You got the bye teams involved, and you've got teams that have already won in the playoffs involved. These lines are going to be super tight. That is good for teasers. And we happen to have some teasers where we're moving through a couple of key numbers right now. And it would not surprise me if those 1.5s are gone and we're talking about a pick 'em once we get to the weekend. If you're going to wait until the last minute, we have a few different options for teasers. Those are all going to be popular. Kansas City, Buffalo. I know it's not a long teaser, but getting Philly on a pick 'em, you love the money line, so pick 'em isn't the worst idea in the world. A lot of different options to do.
Remember,
The only thing you can't do is the Detroit one. You can do anything, but that's the tougher one.
this is usually the round where the favorites roll, where the
Sure.
favorites flex their muscles and show you basically the difference between great teams and good teams. And this year is a little bit different. And you and I were texting about this last night. Usually, the playoffs is when you get the run of favorites. And I'm not going to cry for the books because people don't want to hear that. They don't care that the books lose. But since October in the NFL, it's been very simple. It's been pick the favorite and pick the favorite to win. I mean, we've thrown the numbers out going into week 18. NFL favorites straight up were 62 and 15. This is a very weird year where the good teams are winning and covering. It usually starts wild card round, goes in a divisional round, and then, things even out conference and Super Bowl. But last night, another better quarterback wins the game. If you just laid all the quarterbacks out, right? Stroud was better than Herbert. Lamar was better than Russ. Josh Allen was better than Bo Nix. Jalen Hurts was way better than Jordan Love, which isn't saying much. Jaden Daniels was better than Baker Mayfield, and Matthew Stafford was better than Sam Darnold. Just pick the better quarterback. The better quarterback has basically won since October in the NFL. I think it's so funny now that you're going to see a lot of pushes coming in on the dogs We saw it this past weekend when they came in and bet Steelers day of the game. They came in and bet
Right.
Broncos day of the game. Now they're betting teams like the Commanders. And now they're betting teams like the Rams. They are betting the dogs again.
Yep.
Washington opened about 10. Now it's 9.5, 9. The Eagles and Rams, opened 6, 6.5, 5.5 at a couple places. The dogs are getting bet again early. I'd be
Okay.
careful with a lot of these dogs. This
Okay.
is usually the time, right? This
Yep.
is the time. Now, this year's different because the favorites won in October, November, and December. But every year, wild card round and divisional round, the cream tends to rise, and the cream a lot of times tends to cover.